Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So we've got a Kingdom Hearts 4 leak to talk about in today's video. This has been doing the rounds over the past few days. It was initially posted over on 4chan, it then got reposted over on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, and then someone took a screen grab of the world list that was attached to the information and then reposted that on Twitter, and it really started doing the rounds. Now, most of us are led to believe that this is fake. For one, it makes for some interesting discussion, but I also want to provide the information that was attached to the leaked world list, as most people have come across this leak via Twitter, where the person who posted the world list on Twitter didn't post any of the actual information that was attached to that list. But the other thing too is, a lot of the worlds that are included in this list, honestly, I could see being a part of the world lineup for Kingdom Hearts 4. So before we go over the list, let's talk about the information that was shared. It's mentioned here there is an online server where an internal reliable, in quotation marks, that's instantly how you know this is a red flag, quotation marks, reliable insider within the Square Enix team has shared some information about Missing Link prior to the cancellation of this game. Recently, the Square Enix source has shared this screenshot of an internal Square Enix document showing the list of possible worlds. The insider clarifies that it is this list of worlds was the initial one during the early stages of Quattro development. For those of you who don't know, Quattro is the codename for Kingdom Hearts 4, just as Tres was the codename for Kingdom Hearts 3. Because the current development differs a lot from this list, he stresses that Disney has demanded that the IPs of those worlds have to pass Walt Disney Company's quality values. In early SE and WDC meetings, the Square Enix team provides a list of films they would like to include in the next Kingdom Hearts project, and Disney gives their preliminary go-ahead. In the following meetings, it is decided whether that world will be confirmed if the scenario design is suitable for Disney. So there are quite a few worlds with the tentative tag. Also, in those meetings, Walt Disney Company guides Square Enix to choose some movies that is not listed, even gives him access to unseen footage of those movies to facilitate the development. Some of the grammar of this, not good, which again, red flag. There are other listings with quite a few worlds that were discussed by Disney for inclusion in Quattro, but were discarded in subsequent internal Square Enix and Disney meetings. Missing Link was going to have several unreleased worlds from those discard lists, but Missing Link was temporarily cancelled. The Square Enix insider says that the team is working to recover all the resources and materials that were made in Missing Link for the future of the saga. As a curiosity, he says that Quattro will have some Keyblades or Heartless from Missing Link, and Disney has already been able to see some of the new worlds and they have been pleasantly surprised, even expressing that it looks much better than the original movie. So there's a bit to unpack here. So it should be known that the claim here is that the list that has been included was the initial list that Square Enix started off with for the development of Kingdom Hearts 4. So this right here is the world list that was attached. We can see the final world, Quadratum, Mysterious Tower, Underworld, which is Olympus, Moana, we've got Game Central Station and the numerous different sections of Wreck-It Ralph, Zootopia, Metroville, which is The Incredibles, Inside World, which would have to imagine is Inside Out, Land of the Dead, which is Coco, Galaxy World, I'm going to assume would be Star Wars, Scarlet's Kylam, Radiant Garden, Destiny Islands, and WF. Not sure what WF is. We can also see that there are 3 listings here in Japanese. These are Brave, Wally, and Princess and the Frog. Now, you'd have to imagine that not all of these worlds would be explorable, right? Not full-blown worlds, but rather just used for cutscene purposes. So some of these would be the same, like the Mysterious Tower, the Final World, along with Radiant Garden, Destiny Islands. Those would all be cutscene worlds. I imagine that Scarlet Kylam would be used as a smaller explorable world for the purpose of the Mickey Mouse section. The claim is that the rest of the worlds listed here would be the worlds you go to in Kingdom Hearts 4, and there is a lot of them, which is the biggest red flag out of this entire leak. That right there is simply way too many worlds to be included into Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, again, this was the initial list for Kingdom Hearts 4, so whether or not it was, okay, these are the worlds that we are thinking about including into Kingdom Hearts 4, and then from there, Disney can kind of pick and choose which ones they want included in the game. Not so much a list confirming that, yes, these are the worlds that are absolutely going to be in the game. Again, the information explains that the 3 that are in Japanese here are labeled with tentative, potentially still awaiting Disney's approval. And again, paying attention to the information, it is claimed that the world lineup looks very different compared to what we're seeing here on this initial list. But remember that Kingdom Hearts 3 had 7 Disney worlds. These modern Kingdom Hearts games are giving us less worlds, but they are more expansive. And it's also going to be the same for Kingdom Hearts 4. Don't go in expecting that there's going to be way more worlds than Kingdom Hearts 3 or as many worlds that we got in Kingdom Hearts 2. If that was the case, we'd be waiting like 15 years for this game to come out. Now, looking at all of the different Disney worlds that have been listed here, genuinely, I could see pretty much almost all of them, maybe aside from Wally, because I don't know if that would make for an interesting world, and then would that overlap with the theme of Star Wars, being that it's like spacey themed. Unless Wally were to take place on post-apocalyptic Earth, that could be kind of interesting. I just don't know if Wally would make for an interesting world. Zootopia is also the same too. If we're already having that city environment in Quadratum, then that again is like an overlap. Then again, Zootopia does contain a lot of varied biome types. So maybe Square Enix could get away with having both Quadratum and Zootopia, given that Zootopia can offer so many different varied environments. And obviously it's another world that can provide an alternate form for Sora. Yeah, I really want Zootopia to be in Kingdom Hearts 4. But Moana, people really want this. Wreck-It Ralph, this does make sense, and it directly ties into the origin of Kingdom Hearts, given that Wreck-It Ralph was a part of Union Cross, and there are also darknesses trapped in Game Central Station. I could genuinely see Wreck-It Ralph getting into Kingdom Hearts 4, as no doubt the original 13 Darknesses are going to play a major role in this next coming saga of Kingdom Hearts. Metroville Incredibles, again, is like an overlap with the city environment, so personally, I don't think so. Inside Out, absolutely. Yes, that would be very cool, very unique. If this were to happen though, I wouldn't want it taking place within the mind of Riley, but rather one of the characters in Kingdom Hearts, which would most likely end up being Sora. Land of the Dead, though, Coco, I think out of any of the Disney movies right now, that makes the most sense to be in Kingdom Hearts 4, given where Kingdom Hearts 4's story is positioned. Coco is it. Like, it's absolutely it. Coco revolves around the theme of death. And that is exactly what has basically happened to Sora. If this gets in, this has potential to be one of the most stunning worlds I think the series has ever incorporated, aside from the Kingdom Hearts original ones. The Lands of the Dead is a gorgeous place, which is kind of ironic. It would also help fill the void of Halloween Town, because I just don't think we're ever going to see it return, at least for a mainline title. But this would be a great way for Sora to start facing the theme of loss, which is the core focus of Coco. Perfect given Sora's current situation. So Coco is an absolute must. So yeah, with a lot of these picks, I would actually have to agree that they do make sense. But, you know, looking at this list, it looks like a real quick notepad mock-up, and then just randomly also chucking in the Japanese as well to maybe make it look a little bit believable is kind of laughable. I will say though that just judging by the information that was provided here, it definitely does seem as if, like, if this is fake, which it most likely is, it's coming from someone that kind of knows their stuff about Kingdom Hearts. Like, this is someone that sort of pays attention to Kingdom Hearts and all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on with Square Enix and how they operate with Kingdom Hearts. Because the whole yap here with the Square Enix and Disney meetings is sort of the process, at least going by the information that we've heard about from various different Tetsuya Nomura interviews. Disney have a lot of input when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. There is a lot of back and forth conversation going on constantly between Disney and Square whilst the Kingdom Hearts game is going through development. This is actually one of the core reasons why Kingdom Hearts does take a little bit longer than your usual AAA game to develop, because there is this constant liaising going on between two different companies, and of course Disney have to quality check and verify everything that Square Enix are doing. Also, it doesn't help that Square Enix needs to go back to the drawing board and basically create new assets from scratch, because every world they incorporate into a new Kingdom Hearts game is entirely brand new, meaning brand new assets. So between that, following some guidelines, on top of quality checks and meetings, the development process of a Kingdom Hearts game isn't so black and white. Now, quickly talking about the Missing Link stuff, it is mentioned here that Missing Link was going to have several unreleased worlds from those discarded lists, but was temporarily cancelled. Now, temporarily is in quotation marks there, which does suggest that Square Enix do plan to do something else with that game. It is mentioned here that resources and materials that were made for Missing Link are going to be repurposed for the future of the saga, so suggesting that we might get a console entry of Missing Link later on down the line. And this is what we're all assuming at this point, right? That Square Enix will take a lot of the assets and things that they developed for Missing Link and repurpose them for a proper game, which is what basically everybody wants. They want to be able to experience this not by some tacky GPS gimmick, rather just a traditional Kingdom Hearts title. So in my opinion, this section right here is more of a, yeah, everyone knows that's probably going to happen. That's a pretty good guess. And I'd say the same also applies for all of the worlds that have been listed here too. The mention of unreleased worlds though for Missing Link, there is only one that I am aware of, which again I won't go into detail about, but there is one that I'm aware of for Missing Link that has never been in Kingdom Hearts before, and it's a relatively new Disney movie that was truly going to be in Missing Link. But other than that, all of the other worlds that were a part of the world leak for Missing Link, they had all previously appeared in Kingdom Hearts before. Unless, of course, not all of the worlds that were going to be included in Missing Link were a part of the internal files of that beta build. Kingdom Hearts 4 will have some Keyblades or Heartless from Missing Link. Now again, this I could see, and especially now that we're in a situation where it's like, okay, Square Enix are probably going to have to tack on more things that were intended to be explained in Missing Link now into Kingdom Hearts 4. Nomura wanted people to experience Missing Link before going into 4, so I can imagine that there's going to be some stuff thrown from Missing Link into KH4, and I can truly see Heartless that they once were planning on using in that game repurposed into 4, along with even some Keyblades. I mean, after all, we got the Starlight in Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's basically all you need to know about the Kingdom Hearts 4 leak that is circulating right now. I think we can all really just write this one off. There was another one that was posted over on the Games Leak Reddit like almost a year ago that I just kind of skipped over because I'm like, yeah, this is all malarkey. For those curious, this is it right here. It was basically just talking about Square Enix's supposed plans for the Kingdom Hearts series from 2025 through to 2027. And it goes over just like a bunch of stuff that the community has been discussing for a while. So someone over on 4chan decided, let's make this a leak thing that is actually happening. So yeah, these do tend to come through every so often when I guess someone's bored and wants to make a little bit of noise in the Kingdom Hearts community. They are cool to discuss for sure, but most people know that anything to do with the Kingdom Hearts 4 leak is generally absolute BS. The only real one we've had was that FTP server leak that happened with Square Enix back in like, what, late 2017? And that truly did leak a whole bunch of in-development stuff for Kingdom Hearts 3. It even spoiled the Monsters, Inc. reveal that would happen early in 2018. I think Square have learned to be a lot more secure since going through that. However, though, let me know your thoughts and opinions towards this in the comment section down below. I would love to know. That's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to slap that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. A big thank you to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.